What's going on, ladies and gents? It is your boy Gamma back with the lovely
Juju.
Today's episode, we're talking about Contessa and Scott once again. Married to Medicine reunion, part 2. Let's escape the Matrix. All right, ladies and gents, if this is your first time here, be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
Like the video and hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video just like this. Okay, so we're talking about Married to Medicine.
Right.
Reunion part 2.
That's right.
Now, we covered Scott and Contessa a few times on the channel.
Right.
And primarily because we like to discuss relationships, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. We give advice every now and then. Now, after watching part 2, would you say Scott and Contessa's dynamic is better, the same, or worse? Like, where do you think they stand at this point?
Oh man, they stand still on some shaky, uncertain grounds. Yeah, real
So
talk.
they stand still on shaky ground. Ooh, that's a t-shirt right there. I'm standing still on shaky ground.
But not like that though.
Yeah,
I wish
not
they were.
Yeah, it's not a
but
good thing, basically.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, basically, the way it picked up with this reunion is that Andy was asking, like, what's the status? Like, are you filing for divorce? And I know Quad first spoke out.
Right.
And she was the one who said that, yes, they did legally file for, or she, Contessa, legally filed for separation.
Right. Let's touch on that just for a bit. Because, you know, I've read some comments in our other videos. And a lot of people are not feeling Quad too much. They feel like she's low-key, like, hating on their relationship.
Yeah.
Even though she's Contessa's friend, she may not just be for the marriage as much as, you know, she's putting out. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think Quad is genuine, or at least she's doing the best she thinks for the, you know, for Contessa? Like, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to tell. Like, what are your thoughts, Juju?
I feel like she's doing what she thinks is best, which is more so being more of like a vocal mouthpiece to Contessa.
Right.
Because what I have picked up with, like, amongst the whole, you know, group of girls is that they want Contessa to speak out more. Right.
Now, do you get the vibe, you know, just to interject?
Yeah.
Do you get the vibe they want her to make it work, or they just want her to be honest about what she's going?
Want her to be honest.
It's more of that.
I definitely feel like that, because I mean, come on now. I know Quad, she has her ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That quite a few people, you know, they don't rock with, or they don't feel.
Right.
But with Quad, I just feel like she is very quick to talk or to say what it is, right? And she wants Contessa to be like that. Like, hey, girl, you know, speak your truth. Like, say, you know, don't hide, don't suppress. Because really and truly, Contessa has been doing that for the longest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, really suppressing her feelings.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said Quad wants her to speak her truth.
Right.
What we kind of both get from that is she tells Quad a lot of things.
She does.
That she doesn't tell Scott. That she doesn't tell the rest of the group. Or at least she's not as transparent with the things she may tell Quad privately. That's why Quad kind of has this impatience about it. Like, yo, tell them what you really feel. Or, you know, I get that vibe too. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys get that as well, right? Let us know in the comments if you pick that up. Or you think Quad is just, you know, low-key, being jealous, messy, misery love company. I've heard people say that.
Right.
They're not really feeling her energy because she's been through a divorce.
Exactly.
Maybe she's, you know, trying to push Contessa in that direction in a sneaky or cunning way, to say the least.
Like you said, misery loves company.
Yeah.
It could be that. But, I mean, I personally don't feel like it's that. I just feel like it's more of Quad pushing her to speak her truth, right?
All right.
And you know, so Quad did say to Andy. They did legally file for separation. Well, Contessa did, and basically Contessa confirmed that. Now, after Contessa confirmed that, because all the ladies on the set knew of that, right? Scott in the back room with all of the other husbands, of course, is looking in.
He came out, man.
Yeah, he came out because he initially believed that, I guess they were saying that she filed for divorce.
Right.
But even though Quad did make clear of that, and even Andy confirmed, like, yeah, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So there was some type of misunderstanding, but it forced Scott to come out. And do you remember, like, how, like, tense that was? Like more so his look in his eyes when because he was getting ready to go.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was initially getting ready to leave.
He was like, I'm not having
the
this.
reunion, and then one of the other fellas, right? Yeah. One of the other cast members' husbands, Jackie's husband, as well as Simone's husband,
right?
And actually, all the husbands eventually kind of, talk some sense into him, calm them down, and got him to at least say his piece.
I think it was more Curtis, who was really like pulling him aside and saying, "Listen, speak your truth." Yeah. Jackie has been,
But you know what that is too? Yeah. That's a reflection of their dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you see people behave in a certain way, especially out in public, it gives you a lot of insight to what happens privately. Like he is someone that likes to run away from things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He's not really there as a strong sense of support, understanding, patience, etc. You know, if you have those attributes, and Juicy, you hear me say this a lot, right? What is true is transferable.
Yeah.
You don't, you're just not some kind of mellow, sound-minded individual at work. And then somehow at home, you're just the opposite. If you really are that, you would be that in every instance. Or at least, in different scenarios, you'll be able to apply those attributes is what I'm saying.
It shows itself.
So for Scott to do what he did at the reunion, it reflects that he's probably done that many times at home. He's stormed off, walked away, man cave, escape, etc.
Absolutely.
So. But anyway, they talked sense into him, and then he winded up doing what?
He came out on stage, and he was standing next to Contessa, and they had a few words in regards to that misunderstanding, because he came out thinking like, wait, so you're telling the girls something that I am like unaware of, and they're like, no, like all we said was that we separated, legally we've separated. And he was like, oh, okay. And what is funny, after they cleared that up, Andy asked the question, how long like has it been since you guys legally separated? And Scott said it's been about a month. And then I remember like all the women, they were like looking a little perplexed, like, confused. And then Contessa said, no, it's been about several months. It's been about 6 months. And that right there just spoke volumes personally to me, because it's like, I felt right then and there, Scott was trying to paint one picture and Contessa was trying to paint another, which, you know what I mean?
Once again, it revealed a lot of what is happening between them in terms of their dynamic. And I think for me, what I took from that was Scott, he's more worried about saving face and looking a certain way than actually fixing the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to look good than to be good. He's not concerned about being good, because if he was, the type of questions he would be asking would be quite different. You know what I'm saying? If you're worried about like your outward image, you're gonna come off the way Scott does, right? Like, hey, what's going on? What are you saying? And it's so disingenuous, it's surface level.
Yes.
But if you're concerned about fixing the issue, the source of the issue, etc., he could have came out, but he would have been asking questions such as, how do you feel, babe? Why do you feel that way? Notice he never asked those type of questions.
No.
Never about her feelings.
Never.
On why. It's always, why are you saying that?
Like,
Exactly. It's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, that's the energy he gives off.
Absolutely.
Like, why are you doing this? As opposed to like, Dad, I didn't know, babe. Like, why are you, let's talk. Let's fix this. And Contessa, her reaction to her husband a lot of times.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like she's still crying out for help.
Pure frustration.
Right. When she's around her girls, you can tell she wants to say a lot more, but she has such a deep-rooted respect. More so, I guess, for the arrangement of marriage, right?
Yeah,
not necessarily for Scott. She may have probably already, moved on. Her heart is not there anymore, but she still respects the marital dynamic. And as you said, her family, the children.
Yeah.
So she's always kind of coming off like a woman who's just has like a crisis of conscience. Like she doesn't know what to do and how to do it.
I agree.
But you know she's not happy. You know, I mean, come on, guys. I know you guys can see this as well.
Yeah.
We love to hear your comments and, you know, read your comments rather. Because a lot of times when we look at the comments, they say things that we may have missed or maybe we feel the same, but you guys go in.
Yeah.
You really, you let it be known how you feel. And we appreciate that. So leave your thoughts on what do you think if you watch the second part of the reunion, you know, regarding Contessa and Scott. But, you know, what else unfolded in that episode?
You know, before I go into that, let me ask you a question. With Scott's reaction that I feel perfectly broke down in terms of he's very image driven. Do you think, just to be fair to him, it could be something like, I just don't want our personal business to be out there, like for everyone to know, like the, you know, the knit and what do you call it, the very intimate private affairs, personal matters, etc. See, here's the thing with that, you know, and for all you guys that kind of follow this channel and you pay attention to the things that we put out there, you probably know where I'm going to go with this. Respect. Respect. Here's what I mean. Even if that was his main gripe, personal, private, intimate matters, he doesn't want that to be spoken about publicly. There's still a way that he can go about that shows honor and respect to Contessa. In other words, he's still going to be considerate to her feelings. He's still going to be mindful as to how she feels and maybe even why she did something he views as a violation. He's not going to come off the way he is now. The way he's coming off is as if he's hiding something. He's guilty. He's the one that is causing her to want to share those things. So it's kind of like he's concerned about his feelings. Like, I'm doing dirt, you keep crying to your friends, and sooner or later, my cover's going to be blown. Like, seriously, if you want me to just cut it straight to the point, that's how he's coming off. Because if he was completely innocent, right? He would still, you know, maybe, again, he would still feel like, hey, you telling too much of our business to your friends. But, you know, there would be a way he'd handle that same issue that would show compassion, tenderness, interest, love, and respect. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know if I'm wrong, if you guys disagree. But for the most part, speaking as a man, when you know you're doing dirt and you're up to no good, that's when you become a lot more irritable. Dismissive. Basic things get to, you know, they irk you because you know you're hiding something. You don't want your cover to be blown. So if your girl is like, yo, who's this and why are you talking? Everything bothers you, right? You're annoyed. But if you genuinely are just there for the person, and even when they're wrong, right? There's a way you can fix it without all the tension that he carries. He has a lot of tension himself. It's all in the face and eyes. Very angry, very, I don't know. He just easily worked up, high strung. He doesn't have a pleasant energy. And Contessa right now comes off like she needs a lot of TLC. She needs assurance. I absolutely
agree. Reassurance, you know what I'm saying? So,
I absolutely agree because like when he talks when he talks and you look at Contessa's face, it's like, I mean, my heart just breaks for her because it's just like, I feel like she's experiencing so much pain. Right. And
a lot of tension.
And with what you just stated, which is you as the husband, as the man, like you would want to still reassure her, even though you may feel like, hey, let's not tell all of these intimate details in front of the camera. I still want to assure you, my wife. I still want to bring comfort to you. Where he's just more so like looking at her like, yo, like, what you doing right now? Like, you know, like, and I remember there was this crazy part where she actually said, it's like, you basically want me to shut up. I don't know if you guys caught that, but she actually said that. And he was like, no. And she's like, no, I know you. You're my husband. Like, I know how you're acting right now. So I feel like I completely agree with what you just broke down there.
That's a horrible place to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
When, you guys have almost like, it's like you're playing the double life type thing.
Yeah.
Together. You know what I'm saying? You have your public persona,
right?
Then you have your private life. And the private life is the one that sucks. Your public persona, you're always trying to look good and put on a strong game face. And you never really feel, fulfilled because you're not happy, right? The private life, which is where you should be happier, is the one that isn't working out. And that's kind of where they are. They're in a funny place where, like I know Contessa, at one point she went to some type of resort or getaway with Scott, and she posted it on her Instagram, and that never feels good. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone knows the truth of what you're dealing with, and you're doing the opposite to try to, like, I don't know, dissuade or shut them down, or you don't need to do that. You need to get right.
It's funny you brought that up because they did. Remember, they brought that up in the reunion. Yeah. Because they were like, I think it was LaToya, like, like you were, like on camera smiling. They were on a boat with, with her family. And basically Contessa's like, okay, you guys, like, I'm trying, basically she was letting the girls know, like, look, I'm trying to put my best foot forward. Like, at the end of the day, we have kids. We have 3 kids, right?
Yeah. And I think that was around the time, maybe before, during, when she just had like a full breakdown. When she started like to almost, like she was crying too. Right. She was letting it be known, like, look, man, it's tough. It's hard. It was somewhere around that time, right?
Exactly. Because the thing is, the girls in this reunion were, again, trying to get her to, like, speak your truth. And she was asking, okay, how could I get this man to basically respect me, right? And to, just work with me. And they were just like, okay, speak your truth, take a stand, and I know Simone was like, my stand was like, hey, I'm about to file for divorce to let Cecil know that I'm very serious, so they were telling her all of this. And then in the next breath, they were basically saying, like, why would you put that out, that video, that when they were on vacation? And like, she's all smiles, and they're both all smiles, and everything is great, is what it appeared to be. And they were like, what, like, why would you do that? And she just looked at them like, I have a family though. Like, I have to pull it together.
Else? I think she also responded like that because Dr. Jackie was speaking a lot about manifestation, right? She was talking about, like speaking things into existence. Right. And Contessa, she's just almost defeated at least. So she says a lot of things like, I just can't anymore. I can't take this. Yeah. This isn't good, etc. And so Dr. Jackie said something along the lines of, hey, watch what you say. You're going to speak it into existence. You have to put good things out there, good thoughts. And so I guess Contessa, out of defense, was like, I
wait a minute. Doing that.
Yeah, like,
but you guys are telling me, like, don't do it.
Right, and she even said, I was trying to fake it till you make it. She used that
said
phrase.
That, I remember.
So I think what was happening there, and it goes back to what I was saying not too long ago, is that, yes, it is good to put good vibes and good energy out there. Right. But you still have to do the work. It can't be fake. It can't be for show. You're not doing it for others to think you're good. So that's where I think Contessa misunderstood the whole manifestation, right? Right. Like when you say things like, you speaking abundance into your life, or you're speaking positive vibes, you actually need those vibes to be positive as well. You can't just say, hey, man, I'm a great person, and then you go out and rob a bank and shoot up people. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I think Contessa was missing. It's not just a matter of faking it till you make it. You got to still do the work, and that's what they're not doing as a couple. It just seems like, not to say Contessa isn't doing anything.
Right, because she is.
But as a couple, it could be she's doing everything and beyond. But
he's just not.
And he's just like playing games. He's dragging his feet. He's busy. He's tired. He's Mr. Excuse. So that's what I mean. As a couple, that you can't go on a cruise, but then as a couple, you don't even know how to resolve a simple fallout or an argument. Yeah. So like I do remember that segment, but Contessa was very defensive. Yeah. She kind of was all over the place, but that's why. I feel like she was just
like torn, like, because she did make it clear, as you guys know, that I have friends who are like, stick it out. Like what Jackie was saying. Put your best face forward and speak, goodness into the universe, basically.
Right.
But then there's another side of the ladies that are like, speak your truth. Like, basically enough is enough. Right? So I don't know. Like, I just feel, what do you think? Because I feel like she's just so torn. Like, she's just at a very fragile breaking point. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, let me just say this. Contessa with Scott on stage said that they've had these issues for years, even before the show, before they got on the show. And the issue is, in her mind, is more so her role as the wife, as the mother in the marriage. Keep in mind, these are two health professionals, right? Who are like up there, right? In terms of like their position, their job title, right? So it's like very demanding like work that they do.
Right.
So it's like for her, she just feels like Scott just wants her in the role of like be at home with the mommies. So it's basically like what? Just quit everything and just be at home with the kids. So again, she revealed a lot in that reunion. I feel like that we could all really have a more in-depth view into like what their issues are. And I just, again, dealing with these issues for so long, for so many years, it's like she's just torn. Like she doesn't know what to do. So my question is, what do you think is like her best thing to do? Is it just like completely separate from Scott? Like, look, you live here, I'm gonna live here. We need our space.
Well,
or
that's the I guess that's the question of the day.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. And we're gonna personally hop into that in the next episode after part 3 of the reunion. But if you guys have any suggestions or thoughts on that, feel free to leave a comment below and let us know. Because it is a tough place to be. But we do want to, we definitely want to catch that last part because we don't know how much more is left to be revealed in part 3. And again, that's why we're focusing primarily on Scott and Contessa, because we like to cover the relationship aspects of these shows in terms of dating, marriage, so on and so forth. But feel free to let us know what your thoughts are. If you feel like they're done, there's no coming back, there is hope, and if so, what can and what should they do, etc. We're looking forward to that. So we'll do a follow-up after part 3 of the reunion of Married to Medicine. But in the meantime, we definitely want to thank all of you for watching, especially if you made it this far. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell, like the video, and until next time, escape the Matrix.